Hi everybody, welcome to a new all of the above budget movie review. And this time we're going back to the 80s, back to the time of the action movie, back to the time when, well, things weren't as complicated as they were now. Um, this movie was made by Paul Verhoeven, a Dutch filmmaker, um, with, well, Peter Weller, Nancy Allen, and they made this gem Robocop. The first Robocop tells the story of how Alex Murphy, played by Peter Weller, became the titular Robocop, and how we see a crime-ridden Detroit. We see corporate America at its worst, and we see the effects corporations can have on daily life and things like, well, law enforcement, for instance, but also what happens when politics and corporations mix. There's a lot of funny news reels or advertisements in between, but the story in itself stands the test of time. And it's still, to this day, it's still, yeah, it could still happen because we're still slaves to a corporate system. And the first movie really shows it, but it's like an onion. You peel it. It was followed up by a second one where we see Alex Murphy get into terms with being a robot and his new body and the new life, missing his family, all those things. Being more a cyborg, so more man than robot. He has a robot body, of course, but his mind is still working. Again, played by Peter Weller, who Nancy Allen's in there, of course. A lot of some of the actors return. A whole lot of new actors. We see a drug called Nuke. That is the thing they try and get rid of in this movie. There's a lot of action again. It really sees the boundaries being found by corporations and politics again. And yeah, it's a nice follow up. And then came a third part, Robocop Part 3. And this time there was no Peter Weller. There was another actor playing Robocop. His name doesn't come to mind yet, but well, he wasn't that important because that movie was okay. It was an okay Robocop movie. I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the story, and it had all the same beats as the first two Robocop movies, but it missed something. I can't put my finger on it, but it wasn't what I expected of a Robocop movie. So yeah, so there were three movies made as an original trilogy, and that was from 80s to 90s, and then it was silent. And years later, in 2014, it's time for remakes, of course, and we get the RoboCop remake. Yes. And I was trying to not like this one because, well, how can they replace RoboCop? It's been something that, well, was an institution at that time. There have been a few TV series, a few TV movies. There's been a cartoon. So RoboCop was really into the culture. And then came a new actor who I don't know, Joel Kinnaman. Um, Yeah, and a cast with some famous actors like Gary Oldman, Michael Keaton, and Samuel L. Jackson, who re envisioned Robocop for the modern time. And after watching it a few times, they did it. I mean, I can say anything bad about this movie. It is a kick-ass Robocop movie. Um, it's just not the Paul Verhoeven version, but okay, we have that version. And this is a version that shows us a more human Robocop with more human problems and a new black color. So that's nice. We get a more sleeker, more stealthier Robocop. And he looks more man than clunky machine. We get Samuel L. Jackson in a role as a TV presenter who, well, how do I say this nicely? Propagandizes everything. It's like not news, it's propaganda. So it almost has the same feel as those advertisements in the original movies. Um, this is also a good action movie. Yeah, in the whole, I enjoyed the Robocop movies. I wonder, what did you think of the Robocop movies? Let me know down here. And you can subscribe when you're down there and like this video. And that just leaves me to say thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.